She was reclining in my pool as if it were her own personal oasis, cocktail shades on her nose, when I asked her what she was doing. She smiled. "This is community space, Han. You ought to thank us for the privilege." That was the moment I realized this wasn't a one-time thing. This was war 2 years ago. I exchanged suburban gridlock for 40 acres of Tennessee countryside, yearning for the peace of open spaces and Hollywood nights. I spent every penny on a modest farmhouse, a couple livestock pens, and a small pool for my grandchildren visits. The silence, pierced only by clucking hens and corn rustling, was my retreat. But quiet, I discovered attracts scavengers. I was first introduced to Vanessa Reed. While I framed the pool deck, she peeked over my fence, eyeing my ground like an auctioneer, and quipped, "Hope you're building something the neighborhood can share." I chuckled, thinking it was a nasty joke, only if the goats wished to swim her. Her smile did not reach eyes. She grumbled about standards and departed. I dismissed it as nosy neighbor foolishness, but I ought to have noticed the tempest gathering. The first invasion struck on a blistering July day. I'd locked the gate, netted the pool, and hit town for supplies coming back. I discovered the gate ajar, the net discarded towels draped across my chairs, and pop music blasting Vanessa, and 4 friends were splashing like they'd rented a resort, their perfume cloying in the air, shocked. I stood there until Vanessa saw me waving casually. "Hey, we thought you were gone too hot to waste a pool. I told them to leave." Voice strained. Her friends scrambled, but Vanessa lingered, twirling her drink, not very neighborly. She purred this pool's essentially HOA property. I explained my property was exempt, supported by surveys and deeds, but she laughed, sauntering off, as if I were the intruder the next morning. Wet footprints leading onto my deck. The net had been tampered with, chairs smelling of sunscreen she'd sneaked back. I put in a heavy padlock, motion lights, cameras, and a private property. No trespassing sign, but Vanessa played rules like optional furniture. 3 nights later, my cameras spotted her climbing the fence with a ladder, unhooking the latch and strutting in when I confronted her. She snarled, "You're the problem here. Everyone says this should be shared." "Who's everyone?" I pushed. She stumbled, then accused me of being a recluse, threatening, "Isolate yourself and the neighborhood turns on you." I didn't care if the whole HOA picketed my cornfield. Nobody got near my pool. Then the letter and HOA notice saying I must open the pool or receive fines for hoarding amenities, laughable. Since my act excluded HOA domination, I affirmed with account land was impenetrable. Vanessa didn't concern herself with facts. She exercised self-styled authority one afternoon. I discovered a keypad fastened to my gate, barricading me from entering. She'd desecrated my property. I jimmied it off, stormed into her door, and hurled it at her next time. "It's charges," she smiled. "Try it, buddy. The board's with me." She was mistaken. This battle was only starting. Vanessa wasn't the type to quit. She doubled down until reality bit. I reinforced the gate with steel updated cameras to a cloud drive and plastered legal citations on new signs. Spotlights would blaze if she snuck in. This wasn't all about excess, it was principle. The next Saturday, I headed for town, teasing her by leaving the gates slightly loose. Coming back, I found a full-blown party. Vanessa and 8 women, mimosas flowing a buffet table. My chairs rearranged, fairy lights hung on my gate. Read community pool rules, listing Vanessa pool director. My phone beeped motion alert. I watched live as she waited, barking orders, anger burned, but I called Sheriff Tate, a local who understood the HOA's tricks. He arrived quickly, laughing at my video of Vanessa's incursion. She raged about community votes, but Tate cut her off. "This ain't HOA land, ma'am. No jurisdiction." She threatened lawsuits. He provided trespassing charges. I declined, hoping the warning held. She departed, humiliated her posy, trailing, leaving cracked chairs and garbage. That evening, I searched internet forums not for violence, but for poetic justice. I discovered biodegradable livestock, foam-safe, non-toxic, used to cool barns, able to bury a space in bubbles ideal. If Vanessa broke in again, she'd receive a frothy reckoning. I purchased 3 barrels from a supplier who said it was for pen cleaning at home. I rigged a tank behind the shed pool that's connected to underwater nozzles on the pool steps, initiated by a weight sensor on the steps of the pool. A test involving a feed bag functioned perfectly. Foam spouted, covering the pool within minutes, then being sucked clean. I reset it, cameras rolling, and waited, speaking to no one. 2 days later, I left the gated jar, tempting fate at 2 p.m. My phone rang. Vanessa, sporting a floral hat, led 3 women in as she knocked on the steps. The sensor pressed. 10 seconds later, foam burst a white tidal wave. Vanessa froze, chest deep in foam, shrieking, "What is this?" Her friends flailed, falling one face, planting in suds, safe but ridiculous. It was chaos personified from behind the shed. I watched the live feed, grinning. Vanessa, foam-covered, dripped like a drowned poodle. I came outside, clapping slowly, passing again. Cameras recorded it. That's livestock foam. Harmless, unlike your conceit. She screamed about lawsuits, slipping as she retreated, leaving soggy equipment in the back of the pool cleaned out by dusk. But Vanessa hit back. A red pamphlet posted notice of emergency HOA meeting, pool safety infractions. I showed up uninvited, sitting in the back of the cul-de-sac equipment. Vanessa, in a sharp suit, spun a narrative of my chemical assault risking neighbors. A man cut her off. "Did you invite you?" She parried. "She has an open gate." Another neighbor laughed. "Saw the video, you looked funny." Her face flinched. I stood reciting her trespasses, damages, and phony signs, holding up my survey. Community property, prove it. The crowd turned, board members squirmed, grilled over unapproved funds. Vanessa's grip fell apart. I departed. Point made. Several days later, a notice of a lawsuit arrived, alleging foam caused trauma and hostile environment. My attorney Frank laughed. "It's nonsense, we'll bury her in the meantime." Vanessa constructed a fence extension inching 2 feet onto my property. Sneaky land grab. A surveyor confirmed the encroachment. Frank issued a cease and desist warning of legal action. Vanessa attempted painting the boards to merge in, caught on tape. The HOA, shocked by the foam debacle, called a no-confidence vote. During the next meeting, Vanessa was benched. The board, reorganized neighbors, applauded my proof. Fed up with her theatrics, her house went on the market. A for sale sign, burning red rumor circulated. She was escaping to Georgia, her husband's career drawing them away. Movers arrived discreetly. She ducked my gaze. I watched from my porch. Coffee in hand, not gloating. Just done. The new neighbors, Matt and Lily, were city escapees, craving quiet. They spotted the crooked fence, apologized, and tore it down, building a proper one with a friendly gate for egg swaps. We talked farming over lemonade, no power plays. I dismantled the foam system, storing it as a quirky relic. The pool sparkled, a haven for grandkids. Laughter, its peace. Hard won. The HOA sent an apology, promising no more midnight claims by the fire pit. I wrote, "Stars explode, the struggle disappearing." Vanessa thought she could rewrite my borders. But out here, land is fact, and resolve is monarch. Cross it, and you'll suffocate in your own bubbles.